Yo, what's up, good people? We back at it. Y'all know what time it is. It's Wednesday night. we're one night late. That's all good though. AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. I'm one half of the team, Diego Richtikoff, here with the other half.
What's good, people? This is your boy, All Hate, the other A in AA Sports. Seems like we've been away for a while, but it ain't been that long. What's good with you, homie?
Man, I can't call it. It does seem like it's been a couple weeks, but it's only been like a week. I guess once you get used to them 2 days and them 2 weeks, right. One, it does kind of seem like a long way away. But we got a lot of cover here for y'all tonight. We're gonna get into some open bar here in a minute. But we're gonna preview. We'll keep going with the review or whatever recap rather of Celtics Cavs series. Of course, since last time we've seen y'all, the Spurs have went on vacation. We got some other NFL news, the cover and some other things. So we'll jump right on into it. Y'all know what time it is. In the club, Free 410. It's open bar. What we pouring up first for them this week, Hate?
We're gonna lift a glass to the career of Manu Ginobili. Well, he didn't necessarily confirm that he was retiring, but
did he retire?
Well, he said that he's going to take some time to think about it, but you got $14 million, you're 39 years old, you need to walk. The man has had a decorated career. Italian League MVP, Euro League MVP, won titles over there, 6th Man of the Year, 2-time All-Star, 4-time champion. Don't have nothing to prove. Probably going to walk into the Hall of Fame first ballot, even though the Basketball Hall of Fame ain't too strenuous, but damn good career to be a 57th overall pick that they found by the Spurs.
Yeah. No, Manu definitely had a great career if this is it. I didn't really care for him too much in the early part of his career. You know, they talk about dirty play and whatnot now.
Yeah.
He was one of the faces of it. He learned from the best in Bruce Bowen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, which is why it was funny to some people why Pop was all in his feelings about, the Zaza play a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to digress.
We're going to dig into the Spurs a little bit later because they got some issues and concerns with their little team.
Just a couple.
So we're going to dig into them. The next glass we're going to raise will be to Rob Gronkowski. The boy Gronk it's almost like a lob that New England threw him because they're saying it's incentive-based. But every incentive on here, he can damn reach to get up to $10 million, almost 11. Drew Rosenhaus, I didn't know that was his new agent. He back getting that bread, got him another high-profile client. First tier, he got to hit 80 catches, 1,200 yards. He can do that if he's healthy. That'll get him up to $10.7 million this year. If he reaches second tier only, 70 catches, 1,100 yards, or 12 TDs. Everything on here Gronk can hit. So I'm looking at him being the highest paid tight end this year. I guess I hit you on the side yesterday, and I was wondering, that just don't really seem like – I figured they were going to try to get rid of him after winning that last Super Bowl because I knew the payday was coming. He done missed a lot of games over the years. I'm just real surprised New England didn't New England him.
Well, New England, every once in a while, they'll surprise us. They definitely surprised me this offseason with some of the money that they spent.
Yes, sir.
Outside of, that year they had Revis, I can't think of anything here in recent memory where they spent as much money as they did on individual players. Like they give Gilmore big money.
They gave him, I think the last one that they swung and missed on. You remember that boy Adelius Thomas? They paid him.
Right,
that linebacker, and that shit went left.
Yeah, he came from Baltimore, totally different scheme. It didn't quite work out the same when you didn't have Ray Lewis and Ed Reed behind you.
Basically.
But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to raise my glass to Gronk because although these numbers are obtainable and a lot of them are connected to the percentage of playing time, he hasn't met. I don't think he's met any of these percentages of playing time over the last couple of years. So if he's healthy, he can get these numbers in his sleep. But can he stay on the field? I see you got on here. He hasn't played 16 games since 2011.
Right. I'm wondering if they're tying. You see how they got playing time or the numbers?
Right.
Because I don't believe he'll hit 90% of the play time, but I believe he can get 80 catches and 1,200 yards. It's almost like they made it easy enough to say we're not really giving him this money. He has to earn it, but you know damn well he can get 80 catches and 1,200 yards if he's on the field 10 games.
Well, that's why I say it really kind of ties hand in hand. I guess the way I'm looking at it, because if he's playing, he's gonna get the numbers.
Right.
But if his playing time is not there, then he's gonna have a problem. Because I don't think they didn't bring in a second tight end.
Yeah, Dwayne Allen from the Colts.
That's right. Okay, I'm gonna say, did they bring in anybody to replace Marty B? I know they like to run a lot of 2 tight end sets.
Yeah.
So
he can't stay healthy. That's his main issue.
Yeah, he's got to stay on the field. That's all. But outside of that, these numbers are very obtainable. Very obtainable.
On the low end, he'll get up to 6.75. I believe he's at 5 and some change now. On the low end, he'll get at least another $1 million.
Yeah.
So
that's
see where they go.
I'm about 60% sure that this is going to probably end up working out in the past. It's probably going to work out in the past favor as usual.
They've been handing out bread, man. I think they're all in. We weren't on last week, and we didn't. This ain't an open bar topic. We can touch that in some football, but them concussions and that foolishness with Tom Brady's wife. I think we both feel the same way about that. Just stop talking to the media. Stop.
Especially if you don't. I don't want to say she don't know what she's talking about, because who knows what Tom came home and said to her, whether it's been misconstrued by her or what have you. But even at the worst case scenario, even if he has come home and expressed to you some things that maybe he probably should disclose to the team and didn't, you might want to shut up. You might want to shut up.
Just zip it.
All
right, let's move on to the basketball.
Yes, sir.
Cavs and Celtics played last night. We weren't on Tuesday, people, but there was I believe LeBron James had the devil game on Sunday. He wasn't there. Well, he was there, but he wasn't there. And from what the stats show, he had a 6 assists, 6 boards, and 6 turnovers. 666 in your stat line ain't a good look. Now,
not at all.
Jefferson came out today and said LeBron was sick. What you think about that?
He said, him and Darren Williams had some kind of bug or whatever. If he did, then maybe it explains it. I'm just glad LeBron didn't come out and say it.
Right, and he's not going to. He ain't going to do that.
I don't know. In the past, I think he might have. Just as much as I like LeBron, sometimes he throws some excuses out there. You're like, come on, dog. Older LeBron, he's not going to go there. But I wouldn't put it past younger LeBron, just kind of throwing it out there.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I wasn't quite feeling right, but that's not an excuse. People always just throw that little bit out there and then follow it up with, it's really not an excuse. No, it's an excuse.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? No matter how valid it may be, it's an excuse. But I'm glad he didn't say it at the end of the day. Now, last night, he came out and he wasn't aggressive like he was the first 2 games opening out. He did take a lot of long jumpers, but some of those were wide open. So I can understand why he took them. He wasn't making them.
Right.
Fouls were a mystery.
Yes.
Not because they were called, but he got some really stupid fouls.
Right.
And after he got the third one, Tyronn Lue not taking him out, that was a little questionable.
And it was a lot of time in the second quarter when he got that third foul.
Right, 8 minutes or something, I believe.
Brian should have took the bench for the rest of that half. Brian was out there looking like Tony from Blue Chips, because I was concerned about point shaving.
I was more concerned about the point shaving game 3. Because a quick little tidbit, people. All right, now after game 2, the 40-point loss. Well, before I'll back it up even further. Before game 2, I think the Cavs were only like a 5-point favorite that game. Got blown. Okay, they blew them out. Blew the Celtics out by 40. So next game 3, Vegas up the line to like 16.5, expecting another blowout. And
Right.
then happens, and then Boston comes in and wins the game. So I'm like, well, Vegas definitely won that. But what do you think about last night's game, first half?
Kyrie took over that game when he had to late. You know what? That's a good type of problem to have right there. To where you got a guy who you can sit there and say, turn it on. We need you to go beast mode right now.
Yes.
I tried to post it on Twitter last night. I mean, he's got to be in the conversation of top. It's like it's Durant, and then I can say Kyrie, and I know it's other scorers, but that boy is a machine, man. He is a machine.
Come on, just pure scores there. Because he did a great job after LeBron went to the bench. He did a great job keeping them in the game second quarter.
Every play down the court, you knew he was going to take the shot.
Yep.
And they still couldn't stop him.
Still could. And then, then third quarter, LeBron came out. He did a little bit more, but it was Kyrie's quarter. He had 21 in the quarter. And then, then fourth quarter, it's kind of like LeBron took it back over. I think he had 15 in the fourth to kind of keep Boston at bay.
One thing we know about Bron, when he loses faith in that jumper, that messes with his head. And when he started to see the jumper go in a little bit more last night, he turned into himself more in the fourth quarter. But, he hasn't done that a lot lately. But
yeah, he's been shooting the jumper pretty good this playoff series.
Right.
I think more so, that's, we talk about his growth. Older LeBron now, he feels a couple jumpers not going. He's just going to stop shooting them.
That's true.
As before, he would just continue to chuck them up. Now,
that's true.
He may not attack the hole as much, but he's not going to settle for that jumper. He may end up passing it off to somebody or something. But like you said, it's a good problem to have. Last night was a true meaning of the Batman and Robin, cliche or concept that people put out there. Because it's not just about your Robin being the second fiddle or whatever. It's about, 95% of the time, Batman's going to do the work.
Right.
But you got to have somebody there, that other 5% where you ain't got it or you off or whatever. You got to have somebody there that can pick up the slack. And he really showed what the true meaning of Robin was last night. Because 95% of the time, Bron is going to carry him. It's going to be Kyrie's got to pick his spots. But when LeBron ain't got it, Kyrie's got to step up, and he damn sure stepped up.
It's like when you look at him, when you look at Kyrie with him, you have to look at it and say, he's the closer. That's a given. But when you can turn on a machine like that, I can see why LeBron would just fall back in a lot of cases. That game signifies something we done talked about on here before. If folks are sitting there waiting on Cleveland's downfall, that boy's only 24, I believe.
Yeah.
23, 24.
Something like that, yeah.
He ain't even in his prime. So LeBron going to be, like I think you said a couple weeks ago, he going to get down to maybe 15 points, 5 boards at a time. That's 5-6 years from now.
That's a long way off.
Cleveland's going to have a good run.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They make the right, pickups and pieces here and there. They got to keep some youth on that roster. I think probably after this year, they're going to have to start looking at getting a little more youth. I know they've been going the vet route. But, some of them guys like Richard Jefferson, Deron Williams, some of them guys getting up there. So you might want to start looking at incorporating some younger guys as some key pieces.
I always go back to, I know why they got Love, because LeBron wanted to win right now. But could you imagine if he had Wiggins on that team to bring along?
Yeah.
Just that could have bridged them right there for the future. But, he needed to win that title now. And they done gave away a lot of their first-round picks to win right now. The Hawks got one of their first-round picks in the Korver trade. Even though their first round ain't going to be no more than 29 to 31. But, like you said, they're going to need some youth, and you got to get it that way.
Like I said, the way that these drafts been going, I mean, now giving up a first-round pick ain't what it once was.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a solid vet that's going, especially if I'm a title contender, I'd rather have a solid vet that's going to help me now within the next 2-3 years and waiting on a rookie to possibly develop in 3 years.
That's true. But let's look at the rest of the team. Kevin Love had another solid game. Last 2 games, he's been quite efficient. He's rebounding, he's hitting the threes. Thompson looked good. Their bench has been the concern to me the last 2 games. They've gotten 16 combined points from their bench the last 2 games. 16.
And when I look at, I know we don't have the minutes on this box score. When you start looking at the minutes, it's like that rotation is getting cut very, very short.
Shump and D Will. That's pretty much it.
And that goes to a lot why you're not getting a lot of production out of the bench. So it's Kyrie.
Is Fry hurt?
Who's that?
Is Channing Frye hurt? Because he done got 2 DNPs. Channing Frye.
Nah, I don't think he's hurt. They seem to only bring him in certain situations, but I think he's straight. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. He'll probably get some more burn Golden State series.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything's wrong with him. And I forgot. I know you sent the picture. You almost forgot to. This is what it seemed like. And I'm just gonna kind of go on a limb because I don't know. I didn't really ask you why you sent the picture.
Oh, that's for later on. That's for the Hawks thing.
Oh, that's for the Hawks. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna tie it into the Cavs.
Okay.
LeBron wasn't playing well, and they had to get called Shep to come which was Kyrie. That's why I thought you was going with it.
Right, you'll see a little bit later on in the notes.
All right, we'll save it.
But the Celtics. Okay, they got the gift from God on Sunday with Marcus Smart hitting 7 3-pointers. We knew that wasn't gonna happen again. We knew that wasn't gonna happen again. He went back to reality. That's true.
I said 5 games. I figured the Celtics would have enough heart to at least get a game or 2. Of course, I said that before Isaiah Thomas went down. So after he went down in them first 2 games, I didn't think it was possible. But they pulled one out. One thing I wanted to bring up about them, Al Horford is still not worth $113 million. Sorry, people.
Oh my God! Do you see the boards? He's averaging like 2 boards a game.
Sorry, he's not. Sorry.
Oh my God!
Very good player.
He's 31.
Very good player. Loved him here when he was in Atlanta, but
he done got allergic to the paint, cuz. Allergic.
It's elbow jumper or out. That's it. That's it. I will say this because I didn't expect. Avery Bradley has had a pretty damn good playoff.
Yes, sir.
I didn't expect him scoring-wise to continue to be able to do this. I know he done it a couple times in the first round, second round, but I didn't think he would keep it up. But he's done pretty good.
He gonna help them if they go after Butler. He's last year of his deal, $8 million next year.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get him back in the trade because he's solid.
Yeah. I mean, he's widely regarded by a lot of people in the league as the best on-ball defender. Well, Kyrie didn't give a damn last night, but he's still up there defensively. One thing I want to bring up, you've probably been reading stuff today too, just like I have. Couple things. One, we're gonna give ourselves a pat on the back right quick. Because weeks ago, we didn't say definitely that they had to do it if they needed to do it, but we did bring it up that the Boston Celtics may be better off looking at trading Isaiah Thomas just for the fact that he's not a true point guard. And if you move him off the ball and bring in another point guard, then your backcourt is too small. So
mouse in the house in the post.
So now that he's been out the last game and a half, couple things I've heard interesting coming out of some analysts and from Cavs camp. I think LeBron mentioned it and Tyronn Lue mentioned it. The fact that the Cavs were kind of off kilter a little bit. They threw their whole defensive game plan for the series on guarding or stopping Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
When he went out, Brad Stevens had to switch it up. So Cavs they said they weren't prepared to deal with the changes.
Right.
I think that they kind of worked some of the kinks out second half last night, and they looked like better night and day defensively during that. So it brings up the question. Tyronn Lue said it's harder to guard Boston than it is the Warriors. Now, of course, that statement sounds asinine on the surface, but what you think about it once you actually dig into the concept of what he was trying to say?
He said it's harder to guard Boston than the Warriors.
Right. He said because with the Warriors, and I'll use Cleveland as an example too. With LeBron, you probably gonna get LeBron isolation or pick and roll or flat or something. Kyrie's gonna go ISO most of the time or pick and roll. So
Right.
when they're great players, you know what you got to defend.
Right.
Now that Isaiah Thomas is out, you don't know what you got to defend with Boston.
That's true.
They got a lot of good pieces, not great pieces, but they got a lot of good pieces, and anybody can score at any time. That's when you look at their box score, everybody is normally in between 12 and 20 points scoring.
Right. That's true.
With Golden State, kind of the same thing he was saying. You know KD, what he going to do. You know what Steph's going to do, Clay and everybody, but you don't know what Boston's going to do.
That's true.
Does that make it a little harder? I think maybe in game trying to make that adjustment. Maybe
in game, yeah.
But over the course of a series, man, LeBron ain't gonna have no off. Yeah, LeBron not gonna have no off night in the finals.
Nah. They showed that last night to me. They showed the adjustment because Sunday they weren't prepared for all that ball movement. They was prepared for Isaiah to dribble 15 seconds out the clock and then get a shot off. They showed that last night, and one thing that I feel like Brad Stevens lost that game last night for them. Why the hell didn't he attack LeBron in the second half with 4 fouls?
He had the 4 fouls,
and they didn't even attempt to attack him.
Right.
He's a good coach, very good coach, very bright. But he had Marcus Smart. LeBron was guarding Marcus Smart. He should have been going toward the basket every time.
Right.
If they were switching off, it was Crowder. They should have been attacking. And, a couple times LeBron was reaching, got away with some stuff. Yeah. But he should have attacked him last night. But
they should have. They dropped the ball. They dropped the golden opportunity.
Yes, they did.
Kyrie came in and kind of held them steady second quarter, kept them within reach, and then did what he did third quarter. If they are aggressive on LeBron and get LeBron out of that game,
whole nother ballgame.
Totally change up what they could have been able to do.
Because even with Kyrie beasting like he was, about 5 minutes left in that game, it wasn't out of reach. No. It wasn't. They were right there.
It was right there. He was still right there. It was still right there. And
you know what they needed with that? And we talked about it earlier, side note. That right there, that fourth quarter, that's where I missed Isaiah Thomas. He could be my closer all day long. My sixth man. I'm not paying $200 million. I ain't paying him $180. But as far as if you plug him in right there, he could have closed that game for them. Yep. But, you're depending on him to carry you 4 quarters. You're not going to get that because I think the Washington showed it and Cleveland showed it. They collapsing on him. Right. They're sending 3 defenders, collapsing with everybody arms up, and he can't see around it. So now only thing he's forced to do is come down and jack up a 3 before they get to him. So they got a situation to come to grips with there. I don't know how that's going to play. I don't think they're going to pay him. And with that contract, $6.5 million, I know we get tested on here, but people contracts got to match up when you make trades. So it's not like it's a lot of money you sending out with him. So you can't say, give me your best player for Isaiah Thomas because the money ain't going to match up. Right. So unless you throw in some garbage and to make it match, and who's going to take back some garbage and I'm giving you my best for a 5'8" player? I don't think that bag is coming from Boston.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, that brings up an interesting dynamic I didn't even think about. The fact that he's talented enough to be an all-star type player or what have you.
Yes.
So when you trade him, somebody that matches his salary is not the caliber player he is. So it's not going to be even. So that's going to be very interesting as well. Be very interesting. But they got a lot of assets.
Very, very much so.
They got 2 first-round picks. Well, number 1 pick this year, another first-round pick next year, and people. It seems like just reading social media and whatnot, it gives me a headache sometimes. But it seems like people don't really understand why Boston got the pick. Because I've seen people complaining and talking about the league is rigged because Boston got the first pick. Do y'all realize they got that pick because New Jersey sucks? I don't think people realize where the pick's coming from. You know what I'm saying? This is
Danny ain't
blame the Nets.
How long we been talking about Danny Ainge being executive of the year? Like, since we came back on, he should be the executive of the year next year when he's picking in the top 5 again.
Yeah.
Because if you believe Jeremy Lin going to generate more than 20 wins up there in Brooklyn, bless your heart. Because it won't happen.
So they got those picks. They got a lot of interchangeable wings. We talk about a lot of teams don't have wings and need one wing, and here they are stockpiled with a bunch of them.
Stockpiled.
So they can say, and they got Isaiah Thomas. If it were me, everything is on the table except for probably Al Horford, which you probably can't trade him because of that contract.
Not at 31 years old. Ain't nobody eating that other money he's owed.
Outside of that, I'm picking up the phone. I'm listening to all offers.
And they're going to have about $22 million right now when they get rid of Olenek, Johnson, and a few other players. And Avery Bradley's movable. Crowder's contract is movable. I'd be on the phone with Chicago because whatever they got going on, they need to reconsider. Their time is right now to retool that team, and Jimmy can get them some assets. We'll talk about it on another show.
Yeah.
But it's funny to me. We'll get to it. It's just funny to me how Paul George is so dead set on going to the Lakers. I know that's because he's a fan. He grew up there. But if you're trying to win, Boston's the best place to go. Right now.
I don't know, maybe it could be wrong interpretation or what have you. What I keep kind of gathering from Paul George is I think he wants to be the main piece, and he don't really mind, like, building it, you know what I'm saying, being part of the build, maybe so he can say they wouldn't have did it without me. That's just kind of the feel that I get.
Yeah, I get that.
Versus
it's the shit.
All the all-stars right now and trying to win right now. I don't know. I just see I don't know.
Nah, I dig. So is it over tomorrow?
They're back in Boston, Game 5. Yeah, I called it in 5, so I'm gonna stick with my prediction. I think Cleveland second half showed it last night. I think they figured out what Boston is trying to run now that Isaiah Thomas is out. I don't expect, even though LeBron had 34 last night, up until the fourth quarter, I was trying to figure out where the points was coming from.
That was a quiet 34 right there, wasn't it?
It seemed very quiet. So I think he'll be back to the game 1 and 2 LeBron that we've seen, and they'll go ahead and shut him out because that'll be exactly 1 week of rest that they'll get before the final start next Thursday.
And they're gonna need it. All right, we're gonna move on. Since we were here last, Golden State did close out the series. They swept the Spurs. I tell you, man, one person's foot coming down wrong changed the whole dynamic of that series. Spurs would have won that game 1 and Kawhi wouldn't have got hurt. They would have won.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't meant to be. They got swept.
Maybe this was a little karma or payback from when that year they played the Phoenix Suns, and I think they hip checked Steve Nash into the score table, or Amari got hurt on some kind of free play.
Yep. It was Steve Nash, I believe.
Yeah, and the series.
Everybody cleared the benches.
Yeah, it was over after that. So maybe it's a little karma from the basketball guys.
Yep. And the basketball guys don't forget. But again, Klay Thompson was off. You had Draymond had 16, 8, and 8. KD 29, 12, and 4. 10 of 13. God, he's efficient with this team. I mean, just efficient. Steph had a good game. I think they knew they had to get this done so they could rest because they're going to have a whole nother challenge when they play Cleveland. But we know what they're going to do when we see them. Let's talk about these Spurs. Your boy, L.A.
These numbers I'm looking at.
Did you see the second page where his last 3 games? The third page, I'm sorry. His last 3 games total?
The one 11 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 4 total free throws.
This is LA the last 3 games. Give me your damn money. No, I'm not gonna play. Pay me. He was stealing,
4 free throws in 3 games.
26 minutes a night, cuz he was stealing. stealing.
Wow. I don't have a lot to say about that series because once Kawhi went down, I haven't really watched it.
It wasn't much to say about it, to be honest with you, but I honestly expected him to give a shit. I really did.
He's not that guy, man.
You know what, man? And you look at Pop and the stuff Pop was saying, Pop done lost faith in him.
Interesting. He stuck with him, though.
He's stuck. But, there is a light at the end of that tunnel with them. They need to go get a point guard, a pass-first point guard that can get him the ball. They need. I don't believe he's a lost cause, and his money ain't that bad. It's only $36 million over 2 years. He's
not a first option.
Nah.
He's a first option making first option money, but he's not a first option.
Nah. And that's and it's funny that he left Portland because Dame was essentially the up and coming first option, but he wanted to be the man. He went there thinking it was going to be the system, but, when Kawhi went out, dog, they need you to do more than 11 points a game when Kawhi goes out, and you the highest paid player on that team. They need a little bit more from you than that. And in his defense a little bit, he is a big, and most bigs that have games like his need an efficient playmaker or point guard to get them the ball. And when Tony Parker not being there, Patty Mills is not that. They don't have a point guard right now.
So it was tough. It was tough for him to not have Tony Parker or Kawhi, and the next best player out there is probably Jonathan Simmons.
Shit, I think Ginobili.
Yeah,
at 39.
Yeah. Either way, we scrapping here. It ain't much to pull from. Did Paul Gasol play? Did he play this playoff?
Gasol is old. I mean, he had 14 and 9 in the final game, and I don't know if I put I put on there under what's next for them. He ain't going nowhere. He got a player option for $16.1 million. Who else gonna give Paul Gasol $16 million? He'll be a Spur next year. They can clear about $20 million because I didn't know Tim Duncan was still on their payroll this year.
Oh yeah, because his contract wasn't up when he left.
It's small money, but between that's 5.6 from Duncan, 14 from Manu, 3.2 for Mills, and then there's some other players. I mean, they can clear some money. Just somebody gonna have to take a cut. Somebody gonna have to take a little haircut. And I'm thinking, if it was me, I'm going all in for Chris Paul. I'm pushing. You want to win. Now the question is, they're not going 4 years. They're not going 5 years. The Clippers got 5 years on the table right now. Do you think they can get one of them point guards, him or Kyle Lowry?
Well, I don't think the Spurs can go 5 years, right? They can only go 4, right?
Oh, that's right, because they're not the yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's whether or not he's going to leave a year on the table of money to win.
And Chris Paul was, 32?
32 or 33, around there.
So if he do 4 years, this is probably his last big contract. Anything after that, depending on where he at health-wise, he maybe get a 1 or 2 year deal to keep going at the 36, 37-year-old range.
Right.
But it will probably be a better fit, a better chance than just staying in LA.
That ship is if they bring that same team back again, and they don't really have a lot of flexibility to do much else. If it was me, I'm looking at DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, compared to you go to San Antonio, Kawhi is a monster. And that's without much help now. You get LA. Chris Paul will make LA better. I can see him doing the same thing he did with Jordan. And he's actually can shoot a jump shot. But I just don't know if he's going to leave that money on the table. I just don't know.
LA has a lot of things to think about because a lot of their players can make this choice easier for them by this league.
Right. Well, we know they're probably going to lose Redick.
Redick's probably gone. I seen today Mo Spates opted out of his deal. He was a valid role player for them. I didn't know he only signed a 2-year deal with an opt-out for this year. So him opting out, he probably gone.
Yep.
Blake can leave. So, if these guys leave, then Chris Paul might as well shoot him the deuces. Because just stay there and try to keep throwing lobs to DeAndre Jordan, that ain't going to cut it.
Well, what about this right here? I was thinking about it on the way home from the job. Well, they can't necessarily trade for Melo at this point because who's under contract? Jamal Crawford. Reddick was the big piece they could have traded, which they should have done. So you bring in Melo for fish heads and rice because Phil done dropped his value for next to nothing. So you bring him in. And what about bringing in Chris Bosh to replace Blake if he leaves?
Chris Bosh is going to be interesting because he can, if healthy and cleared, I'll tell you right now, he's going to be able to walk in and average 15 at least.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying? Depending on the situation and playing time and all that, it could easily be 18, 20. Chris Bosh, he just got that skill set. We call Dirk the original stretch four. Chris Bosh in Miami took his game to that stretch four position and kind of, helped make that stretch four position what it is now.
Yep. But people forget about when he was in Toronto, he was in the post. His whole game changed when he went to Miami. Whole game.
Exactly. So, and I'm pretty sure that Chris Paul going to have a lot of conversations because he's probably going to be the main domino.
Yeah. It'll be him first.
Right. It's got to be him first, and then Blake will probably decide what he wants to do. I wouldn't doubt Chris Paul and Melo having some nice long discussions via phone or text at night because they homies anyway about what Melo is going to do. Is he trying to talk Melo? And then if he a homeboy, he at least need to be trying to, at the very least, talk him to getting his ass out of New York. Even if you ain't coming to play with me, get out of New York. You know what I'm saying? Just as a homie, just as a friend.
Yeah. You should expect that from your people.
Yeah.
But just like what we said with Isaiah Thomas, getting Melo, you got to match up that $25 million. So that's a lot of pieces, and a lot of them contracts unexpired.
They don't have it. They dropped the ball.
They should have did it.
Yep. There was a lot of deals that probably should have gotten done. Utah.
Yes.
They should have took some phone calls from Hayward.
Let's segue into that now.
Okay.
The All NBA teams, those were announced, and you expected Harden, LeBron, Westbrook, Kawhi, Anthony Davis. I guess I didn't know he balled that well this year because he's down in New Orleans and they suck. But Greek Freak, KD, Gobert, Steph, and IT on the second team. Draymond, Jimmy Butler, DeAndre Jordan, John Wall, and DeMar DeRozan. There were two losers in this whole situation. Two. And they're not listed on here.
We're not talking about Klay Thompson.
No, it wasn't Klay Thompson. He was not on
Draymond. I don't see us about to put him on these teams.
No, I don't. I rebuked that as soon as Draymond said it. I appreciate you looking out for your homeboy, but he didn't ball better than these other guards. But the two losers in this situation were Paul George and Gordon Hayward. They lost around 70 to 72 million, from what I understand, by not making those teams. Utah and the Pacers, y'all should have traded them in February. You should have traded in February. We talked about it. I know we talked about it. We heard no chatter about Hayward. None whatsoever when the trade talks was going on down the trade. None. They were like, he good. He gonna stay. Utah, Boston, if the money's the same, I'm going to go win. That Utah team we saw, they not beating nobody in the West.
No, they're a nice little team. I kind of like their team better than I've liked Utah in the past.
Yes.
But no, they're not, without some other pieces coming in, they're not going to beat anybody as constructed right now. There's nothing keeping me in Utah. Rudy Gobert's a nice center. I like him. Love his game, actually. That's not enough to keep me in Utah.
Bruh, Joe Johnson had to save them. Joe Johnson's old ass had to save them 3 games in the playoffs this year. You can't expect that next year. And a lot of them youngins, because they done been in the lottery for a while, a lot of them youngins ain't developed like they should have as of yet.
Dante hasn't developed.
Exum, Rodney Hood. There's another cat from Lyles from Kentucky. Well, we'll talk about Kentucky because them dudes always seem like they don't just develop, as they should coming out.
Yeah. And they're about to lose. I think he's free agent. Ain't George Hill a free agent?
George Hill's free. Ingles is free. It's a lot of cats. They could be right back in the lottery, going from 4th in the conference back to the lottery.
And now that I think about it, George Hill got history with San Antonio.
Okay.
He'll be a cheaper option than Chris Paul if Chris Paul decide to stay in LA or go elsewhere. But that could be an option because they're going to need a point guard.
I got something with that on the next page. Let's finish this up.
Okay.
The Supermax, the guys who are available to get it: Steph, Harden, Westbrook, and John Wall. They can get it this summer. John Wall probably gonna take that money. That's damn good money, and that team's close. He ain't got no reason to go. Yeah. Harden, we already knew Harden and Westbrook. Kawhi's available to sign it next summer. Steph's gonna get about $217 million over 5 years this year. That's some good money right there.
That is.
That's some.
But eventually,
what's up?
Eventually, they're going to run into some cap problems.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to be the same team next year. They got to get it done right now because they won't have the same team unless dudes coming back on that New England. We ain't got no bread. Do you want to win?
I'm saying people don't think this is no long, drawn-out thing where you're going to have a nucleus of Clay, Steph, KD, and Draymond together because you can't pay all of them and still have a quality bench.
I want to say Clay comes up in a year or two. I want to say because he took his deal.
Clay got his last contract or extension before they won the title.
Right. He signed it then.
So
before they won.
Right. And I want to say it was the season before that.
That $95 million.
I want to say he got that money one of them 2 years that the Spurs played the Heat in the final.
Yeah.
So that deal coming up. Yeah, you're right. That deal's coming up shortly. And I don't know if I'm going too far off kilter here, but they're talking about, Clay really is almost really the fourth option now.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? Because Steph got the ball in his hands all the time. KD needed, and then Draymond got his hands on the ball a lot just because of what he does, facilitate. So Clay's the fourth option. If they don't,
I'd love to have him in Atlanta. Boy, I'd love to have him.
If they don't win, his number. Well, I can't say his numbers dip because he had a career year in scoring. So. But, if he feels like he wants to be a bigger piece or what have you, he can very well, we can see a move. You never know.
Yes, sir. You very well could see that. But that's funny we were talking point guards because we need to give ourselves another pat on the back. Because a couple weeks ago, people, we were telling y'all, Derrick Rose going to get paid. Oh. We were telling y'all this. And everybody was looking at us, even our homeboy. Derrick Rose, You see on the last page of our sheet, I put the top page of point guards on the market. Bro, if you look at them numbers, Derrick Rose ain't far off. And if you say Chris Paul is the number one, and I get that, and if you say Lowry's number two, I take Derrick Rose over George Hill.
Oh yeah,
I take Derrick Rose over Drew Holiday.
Let me top on her. I see him now. Yeah. Damn, George Hill don't average no more than 4 assists.
Right.
So I was just thinking, depending on what your team needs and how you running your team, if you need a true facilitator, a true point guard, then I would probably go with Hill. But if you need the combo kind of guard that ain't really a point guard, can make some plays and really is a scorer, I'm going with Rose.
The only thing that's hurting D Rose against all these cats is that 21% he's shooting in threes. That's the only thing that's killing him. If he ever developed the jump shot, he'd be.
Well, that and his legs are made of twistlers.
Well, that's the given. That's the given. We know that he's not made of the strong stuff.
Right.
But just looking at these numbers, I was like, damn, he's really not that far off.
You say Gorilla Glue missed him, huh?
Yeah. But
yeah,
and I was reading today, they were talking about. I was reading today. They were talking about George Hill gonna get like $22 million a year. Drew Holiday gonna get 20. Man.
I mean, because you look at those are the names that's available. The money got to go somewhere, and a lot of these cats are benefiting from and not being. I'm saying really big names on the free agent market, and like I said, somebody gonna spend that money.
They got to spend it.
Got to spend it. So a lot of these guys benefiting over these last couple of years, with the stars not being free agents or nobody really moving.
Right. But last thing I got in NBA, and this is gonna require that picture. The Hawks, they hired a guy named Tommy Schlink as their GM. He is the assistant GM for the Warriors. But you know who came in second place for the GM? Tommy Shepard from the Washington Wizards. And people, if you don't remember who Tommy Shepard is, there you go. This is when he first.
If you don't know about Tom Shepard,
this is when he came home. He started working with the little homie, got his game right. Who knew he went and got a job with the Wizards and worked his way all the way up to the VP of operations? Who knew? I saw that name today. I had to find a picture. I said, damn, that dude's name is Tommy Shepard. That's all right.
That's crazy.
But the thing about the Hawks with this real quick, I just hope that this works out because people think that Golden State had this special sauce that they put this team together with. They just had a lot of shit go their way. Draymond was a second-round pick who developed. Nobody saw that coming. Yeah. Steph coming out of college was good, but he was not this. I never saw Clay play in college, and I'm pretty sure they didn't expect him to get this good. That wasn't what you did as GMs. That's some stuff going your way.
Yeah. So, now, Clay, as a prospect, Clay was probably the higher graded prospect out of the three of them because they did. Okay. Many people had Clay graded as one of the next best shooting guards because just because of how he could shoot and score. Now, the defensive thing came about kind of a little bit later and just kind of made it whole. But, yeah, like you said, a lot of shit just broke their way. Most teams don't get the draft for All-Stars or whatever it was. That just don't happen. And
it hasn't been free agent moves. It hasn't been a lot of stuff that they've had to do. Stuff just really bounced their way. Kevin Durant wouldn't have went to that team if them dudes weren't that good. So it wasn't like you had to they molded this team. They picked up Iggy. That was like their biggest free agent acquisition before KD. So, I'm wondering, is this guy going to come in with more power than Bud? Can he fire Bud?
But he's the GM. Bud's the coach. Now, from what I understand, I think Bud still has some type of input on the roster. So, I don't know how that chain of command is going to go.
Be on the lookout, Bud. You better win next year. Anyway, did you? We're gonna do a little bit of NFL talk before we get out of here, people. Don't have too much. Did you hear anything about Cap's workout today? Have they released anything? I haven't heard.
Yeah, I've been looking for some updates. I didn't see anything either. So we'll see.
Okay. Teddy Bridgewater was taking dropbacks and throwing in OTAs today. I hope it works out for the kid, man. I really do. He had a solid season before he got hurt. Looking like he was going to be their future, but hopefully that works out. Sheldon Richardson. I want him and Brandon Marshall to be locked in the locker room in New York and just let them shoot that five, man. Just get to the bottom of it.
They've been having some issues for a little bit here. But
everybody says the same thing about Marshall.
Reasons why the locker room better. He had 15 reasons why the locker room better.
Shots fired. Everybody says the same thing when he leaves, though. Everybody, every team says, "Yeah, we glad he's gone." That's the most productive receiver that don't nobody damn want.
But we sit here, and Terrell Owens is not in the Hall of Fame still because he was such a divisive person in the locker room. We talk about Dez Bryant blowing up on the sideline. We talk about Odell kicking nets. Brandon Marshall seems to be an issue everywhere he goes, but he slide up under that radar criticism, seems like. Maybe because he gets out of here and he backs these garbage quarterbacks.
Oh, that's all it is. That's all it is. That boy, he was on that ship going down with Fitzpatrick. Yeah, he was on the ship with Geno before he got knocked out.
Yep.
He'll ride with you. He'll ride. And, plus they like him for the mental health stuff. So I guarantee he won't have a problem going into the Hall of Fame. I guarantee he won't if his time comes.
Who, Brandon Marshall?
Yeah, if he ever gets there.
No, he's not going to the Hall of Fame.
I ain't even looked at his numbers. I'm just talking about they like him enough.
Nah, he ain't Hall of Fame, dog. Nah, dog. He ain't Hall of Fame. He ain't Hall of Fame, dog. Nah, dog.
I haven't even looked at the numbers. I don't know.
I ain't looked at him either. That ain't happening. It's hard enough for receivers to get in as it is.
It is hard. It is.
Man.
But I guarantee his numbers are close to somebody who done got in.
Man, he just stabbed a couple people, hadn't he? Man, he ain't going in.
Yeah. But speaking of Hall of Fame wide receivers, Megatron is pissed off at Detroit for the way he was treated toward the end.
No, I'll take that back. Because people will take that for face value and say we lying. No, I'm sorry. His wife stabbed him. My bad.
Oh, I forgot. I mean, I knew somebody got stabbed. But,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But Megatron's mad for the way he was treated on the way out the door. It's like, I get it, but I don't. You quit on them.
Like, dude, this would have been news. Like, or we probably would have wanted to hear more if it would have
last year.
Yeah, last year.
Right.
Nah.
Yeah.
We don't care no more.
Yeah, you quit on them. That's hard to sit there and say, okay, we know for a fact we got 90 balls, 1,500 yards, maybe 10 touchdowns penciled in. And you call us like, hey, dog, I quit. Yeah.
And the offense, most cases, look better. Yeah. So, damn.
Speaking of the last wide receiver talk we got, Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham got a contract from Nike. And from what I've been told, it's the richest contract for an NFL player at $5 million a year. Boy. I'm going to give you one stab at it because what's Odell's cleats, his shoes going to look like? What they going to be working with?
They're probably going to have some sequins or some glitter on them. I'm looking probably some fluorescent that change colors in the light. Maybe some unicorn skin on them, something like that.
And them shit's still gonna look better than them damn Steph's. Still. He can wear his cleats in the street and they'll look better. You're right. Those cleats will look better than Steph's shoes. I'd wear his cleats in the street.
Cleats are everyday shoes, people. Cleats are everyday shoes. I know some of y'all went out to Marshalls looking for cleats this week after last week's episode. Don't front.
Crazy thing is, his 5-year contract is $18.8 million. He got another year on that. And he's going to make more money off of that shoe deal. And then he still got the payday coming. Still.
Yeah.
But Odell's going to see some bread in his career. He's going to see some bread.
Yeah.
But they shorten overtime, and they're allowing people to celebrate now. Good job, NFL. All them penalties and that foolishness need to come to an end. Let them cats live. They got to make money. Y'all don't guarantee their contracts. They need advertising dollars and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Let them live. I don't want the twerking. Leave that at home, AB. We don't need none of that.
Well, I was just about to say, they still put some restrictions on this. You still can't twerk, which is a good. And you still can't dunk on the goalpost.
I don't understand that.
Well, they say because they don't want – they say they can say they're going to let anything go, ball props, player, huddle celebrations or whatever, group celebrations. They're going to let that stuff go. But anything that basically delays the game or could delay the game, they're going to flag. So they're saying with the dunks on the goalpost, you dunk it hard enough, you hang on it, you can bring the goalpost down, get it off kilter or whatever. So they don't want that. That's why they don't want that.
Can they shoot jumpers over the goalpost?
Probably not, knowing the NFL. But
okay.
that should be harmless, but probably not. Because I think the article I read says anybody dunking or attempting to dunk on the goalpost is still going to be flagged. So I don't know if they go for finger rolls too. We'll see. Because somebody going to fly.
Oh, you already know. But all right, we have transitioned to last call. We've gotten to the last segment of our show for the week. Last call. We're gonna come with you on a somber note. Cortez Kennedy, Seattle Seahawks great. 48 years old. He passed yesterday. 92 Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time Pro Bowler, 58 sacks, 11 seasons in Seattle, and started almost every game. Made the All-90s team. Life ain't promised to you, people. That cat left a little bit too soon. University of Miami great. But I put something in there in regards to it because this cat was only 48 and left. And NFL players don't see the money that the NBA players do. Right. We were just talking about Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh he's about to be released from Miami around July. He's still owed $52 million. He's 33 years old, got a wife and kids. Is it worth it, cuz?
I mean, I ain't no doctor. I would say no, but I could ask that same question after he came back the first time.
Right.
I don't know how much of it is an actual threat and how much of it was Miami just playing it safe. You know what I'm saying? Not wanting the worst to happen. So I don't know.
Right.
But depending on what his diagnosis is, if it's 5% shaky, I'm not taking that chance. You know what I'm saying? I remember being a kid and I watched Hate Gathers collapse on the floor.
Right.
In that tournament game. I don't want to see anything like that happen, especially if it's preventable.
Have you seen him on Turner Sports doing commentating? He's not that bad.
Oh, I don't. Turner Sports got a show?
Nah, the TNT show.
Oh, I'm tripping. Okay.
Yeah,
I automatically thought like Braves and baseball when you said Turner, but that's TNT too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've seen him on guest spots on that show. Yeah, he's not bad as an analyst. No, he's not.
And that's, I understand you're 33 and what you love to do got taken away from you basically 2.5 years ago. I kind of understand it, but
yeah, and
you got a lot of money coming your way.
And that's probably what it is. You get these athletes, man, they don't want to go out on injury terms. They want to go out on their own terms. I mean, you look at Steve Smith from the Ravens. He was supposed to retire, but he popped that Achilles. He's like, I ain't going out like them coming back. Kobe probably should have retired 2 years before he did, but he kept having season-ending injuries, and he didn't want to go out that way. So, I mean, I get it from an athletic standpoint. If his wife is cool with it, then, hey, who am I to judge?
Hey, she all the way in. Because, she was shitting on the Heat via Twitter hard.
Yeah.
Wanting them to free her husband.
Yeah, you're right. So,
But we wish him the best because if he's healthy, and somebody going to sign him this summer, if he's healthy, he can help somebody. Yeah. I just don't want to see that man not make it to see his kids be grown.
Right.
And on that note,
couple things I had on last call. One thing I saw last week, one thing I saw today, which scratched my head. We were talking about you was telling me somebody was asking why the Hawks didn't get a different GM, and I was saying it was better than the retread. Speaking of retreads, did you see today that the Cleveland Browns hired former GM from the Colts, Ryan Grigson, as a senior executive personnel person?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. The Browns are going to Brown, people.
After he shitted on them for all them years and wouldn't protect Andrew Luck, they going to give him another job?
Senior personnel executive.
I know why they did it. You remember they looked out for him. He looked out for them years ago to taking Trent Richardson off their hands for that first. So they was homeboys then. Wasn't nobody – they traded him to the Colts. Grigson was the GM, I believe. So they were familiar with each other.
I got you. I'm just trying to make sense of it.
That's a joke.
He's horrible. Okay. And then the last thing I got for open call. So of course we gave an update on Uncle Otis. I think last week or the week before. Yeah. He was at an autograph signing or whatever. Well, I hope nobody gave him no money for no mortgages, but
I hope not.
Seen the story last week. So his disappearance is getting a little more crackheadish to me. Do you know he thanked the Woodstock police for looking for him, called it called a total thing of misunderstanding that he was missing, and decided to send them lunch from Jimmy John's sub sandwich spot. Sent the whole police department lunch to thank them for searching for him. Still ain't said where he was. He still ain't said where he was. We still don't know where the rover at.
Hey, bro, you know what that's about, right? That's like, hey, I sent y'all that lunch. If you catch me out here smoking these rocks, just turn your head. Just trying to buy some goodwill, that's all.
Hey, man.
That's all.
I thought that was quite funny, though. I thought that was
that really was. That really was. But, hey, y'all see Uncle Otis out here in the streets buying that shit? Call somebody, man. We trying to keep him off that stuff.
Yeah.
Look out for him.
Got to, man. Got to. So, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, you got anything you want to leave the people with? You want to tell them where to find that on social media, all that good stuff?
You can catch me at on Twitter at Rike6000. I talk sports. I'm gonna be on the Kane and Ice show Sunday. One of their shows talking about wrestling.
Yeah, cool.
Also, I don't know if we're gonna be here tomorrow. I don't know. We might be back on our regular schedule next Tuesday because it ain't been so much.
Yeah, we'll probably be back next Tuesday. Again, reach out to us at AA Sportscast on IG and Twitter, same handle. Also, you can reach myself at Diego the Rich. Again, give us a watch, like, hit that subscribe button on them YouTube videos. Make sure you share those with your friends. Also, hit us at aasportscast@gmail. Next week, I believe we're going to do a little bit of fan interaction, have them come on for the finals predictions for fans. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll take it from there. But you got something?
I believe Kane and Ice is going to try to come on next Thursday to talk about the Warriors.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. I think the finals game probably tips off at about 9. So we'll come on a little bit before that and get some predictions going from both sides, Cavs and Warriors fans. Predictions on the NBA Finals, and we'll go from there. Yeah, y'all know what time it is. We appreciate y'all coming out. AA Sports, straight sports, no spaces. For all hate, Diego Barishnikov. We'll holler at y'all next week, man. Y'all be easy. Peace.
Peace.